We have a very special episode today. We have the one and only Crypto Dan with us.
Along the way, I've worked in some online crypto education groups. One of them's Hustles University, which you just mentioned. I would personally, unless I had $5 to $10 million, I would avoid anything that has the word passive in it. Going in to chase meme coins to get rich is the same as going into a casino, putting all your money on black and hoping to win. It was only in February I made $100,000 on alert.
Right now, June 4th, 2023, what are the best airdrops to be focusing on farming right now?
Yeah, so pretty much everyone's doing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. We have a very special episode today. We have the one and only Crypto Dan with us. Dan is a 23-year-old Australian crypto investor. He is an ex-Hustlers University professor, and he has a ton of value and experience that he'll be sharing with us today. So I'm very grateful to have him here on the channel. Dan, welcome to Crypto Empire.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm really excited. We've got some insanely interesting, valuable topics to go over. So I'm excited because I know you're good at airdrops and everything as well. So yeah, going to be a ton of information and value in this. It's going to be good.
Yeah, awesome. So before we really get started into the master class where we're going to be telling everybody how the best ways to actively make money in crypto, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started in crypto, and then kind of where you are today?
Yeah, so I got into crypto December 2017. I had just turned 18 years old, just finished high school, and I saw some articles online about Tron and Cardano pumping, and that was my intro. It was intro through Tron because I really liked the movie and I heard there was a coin about it. So I was like, wow, this is really cool. I can sort of invest in this Tron style thing. Had no idea what I was doing, just totally clueless, guy who just finished high school. Right. Lost money for, I think, 2 years just in that bear market that we had, and didn't really make any money at all for 2 years. And then that was the bottom of 2019. And from there, everything started going really well. I started to figure out, when I got close to a full market cycle, how everything worked. And from there, it was basically refining the ways that I make money, my edges, my strategies. And along the way, I've worked in some online crypto education groups. One of them's Hustles University, which you just mentioned. For anyone who doesn't know, Hustles Uni is the largest online education platform on the planet. And I was the crypto guy in that group, and they teach other ways to make money. I don't do it anymore. Quite time consuming. I'm focused on some other things. But yeah, my main things are long-term investing, airdrops, using my network to get into pre-sales, and fundamental analysis and narrative, chasing narratives, basically. That's my main setup. So I focus full-time now just investing, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So sounds like you have a lot of different experience and you've achieved a level of success that most people here in the market strive for. So I'm really excited to kind of dig into your brain today and see how you were able to pick these things up at such a young age with, you started with basically no experience and you've surpassed 99% of people. So let's get into this masterclass and get down to business. So to start things off, actively making money in crypto in 2023, because most people just stare at their computer screen, they stare at their chart on TradingView, and they don't make any money. So how do we actively make money in this market in 2023?
Yeah, so the only way that I would be making money in crypto is active methods. I would personally, unless I had $5 to $10 million, I would avoid anything that has the word passive in it. Anything that they tell you don't have to do anything and you're just going to make money, avoid it. Any way you make money in crypto, it needs to be relatively active. It needs your involvement. So look, I always tell people, until you're making 5, 10K a month, the last thing you need to be doing is trying to actively making money in crypto. Because when you don't have much money, you can't grow it too far. And the methods that you could follow to grow it, 50, 100, 1000x are basically straight up gambling, meme coins, leverage trading, all these different ways that someone with not much money can get rich. Sure, it works, but it is very, very much the same as gambling. Going in to chase meme coins to get rich is the same as going into a casino, putting all your money on black and hoping to win. Obviously, some people who spend their entire day in their mom's basement trying to figure out a strategy can figure out an edge to trade meme coins. Some people can, but for most people, most retail people, they're lazy. They're not really into it. They're just gambling. So anyone
I
watching
agree.
this has less than, let's say, 5K in capital, I would say don't even worry about crypto, to be honest. I would be saying go get a better job, invest into your skills so that your hourly rate is worth more so that you can get money to then put into crypto. For anyone with more than 5K, I would be recommending to get into airdrops. I think the airdrop space is one of the most promising ways that you can make money over the next 6 to 12 months, or probably not even 6 to 12, probably 3 to 12, depending on how the space evolves. Right,
Right.
like
With snapshot
in
dates.
February, yeah, and also like there's a lot of airdrop farms opening, NFT projects where you can invest into an airdrop farm where they pay you out,
Hmm.
uh, on the airdrops that they get. So the airdrop space will be really, really lucrative now for the next maybe 3, potentially 6 months. After that, it might go away. But for right now, this is the way that you make money. It was only in February I made $100,000 on Blur, and
Right.
I spent probably, to be honest, I personally spent about $30,000 on fees to get that,
Hmm.
but could have spent a lot less and did very well. So some guys I knew spent $500 using the platform. They made like 20, 30 grand. So
Right.
that was an example of an amazing airdrop. You don't need much money, but it's an active way to make money in crypto. So
Yeah, I certainly agree. If you don't have $5,000 to start, then there's some other underlying issues there that you need to first take care of before you can really get to, farming airdrops in crypto, which, as you just said, you've hit some huge wins this year. I've also made a decent amount. I got Blur, I got Arbitrum. So, yeah, certainly you need money. It takes money to make money.
mhm.
So then moving on, right now, June 4th, 2023, what are the best airdrops to be focusing on farming right now?
Yeah, so pretty much everyone's doing ZK Sync. I think it'll make money, but I think ZK Sync is just being airdrop farmed to shit. Like
Right.
it was the fastest protocol to get 1 million users in history, in crypto history, and it was by a large margin. And that's not just, oh my god, all these users are wanting to use ZK Sync. No, it's just
Yeah.
people making hundreds of wallets
Yeah.
to farm this. I know a guy who has 700 wallets, all in a top, high ranking score,
Hmm.
whatever the score, arbitrary score, but like, he's used a lot
Yeah.
of the protocols on 700 wallets. This one guy. So you can imagine, like, yeah, it's got 1 million wallets. It's probably only 10,000 people. But look,
Hmm.
you can still make money from stuff like that. The one I'm looking into is Layer Zero. I think Layer
Yeah.
Zero is going to be not just a big airdrop. I think it's going to be an insanely profitable project going into the bull run. I think that
Hmm.
even after the airdrop, I think it'll be a very well performing project. I made a video talking about it. I probably don't want to go too much into depth on why I believe it's a big airdrop, but one of the things you want to look at is how much money have they raised? What is their pre-market valuation? Because if
Right.
the VCs are seeing this project going, it's worth $3 billion, the token's probably going to have some value,
Hmm.
right? So when I do airdrops, I always try to focus on what is the biggest project in terms of valuation that I can find, and I want to focus on that. Because if you're going to farm an airdrop of a coin that's worth like fucking $5 million market cap, you're not going to make any money. Even if
Yeah.
you get a top wallet in the airdrop, you're not going to make money. Like Blur I think it launched at $300 million market cap or something like that. And I knew it was going to be that big. And that's why it was so profitable, because it just had
Hmm.
such a big market cap out the gate. So yeah, Layer Zero is the big one at the moment. Look, you could do ZK Sync, you could do Scroll, you could do Linear. There's a few others, but Layer Zero is where I'm
Right.
putting my.
Yeah. What Layer Zero raised, what, like $150 million in funding from VCs?
Yeah, it was a
Something
lot of
around
money.
there.
They're a
Yeah.
multi-billion valuation.
And then ZK Sync like 450, but like you said, it's being abused. And also the Arbitrum hype. After the Arbitrum airdrop launched, everybody and their mother all of a sudden overnight is interested in airdrops. And that was a big catalyst for ZK Sync too. But also one more to add, Starknet, I think is worth paying attention to as well. They also got some big funding. So
Mhm.
that's
Yep.
one that I'm actively focused on. All right, cool. So you kind of answered my next question, which was what system strategy do you use or follow to determine what's a good and bad airdrop? And the most important thing really is who's backing the project and who's injecting money into it. Because these VCs, if they invest into something, they want to tokenize it. So you basically answered that question. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, so I would say there's a few different variables you want to look out for. So number one was what's it worth pre-market. Number two would be how much are they looking to give away in an airdrop. Sometimes you don't know; they don't say. Most of them actually say, we're not doing an airdrop. Like Arbitrum, they were
Right.
like, we're not
The
doing an
trick.
airdrop. Stop farming it. You're not making money. Stop. But they decided to airdrop anyway.
Mhm.
So you can't listen to what they say because it's a PR thing, right? If they got a raise from VCs and they say we've got 1 million users, and the VC says, yeah, but did you tell them they're going to get an airdrop? And they go, oh, well, yeah. Then they're not going to raise any money because they're going to know, the VCs will know, well, it's just a fucking scam.
Mhm.
But if they tell all their users, we're not giving you any free money, stop wasting your time, go back to your 9 to 5, you're not making money, then it seems like it's real adoption. So that's why none of them are going to tell you that they're going to do an airdrop. But
Right.
look, some of them do. Blur did. And Blur had always said from the start that they were going to give like a large portion of their tokens to airdrop participants. The more money they give to an airdrop participant, the more you're going to make.
Mhm.
Some airdrops are shit. Like, for example, NFT Perp, a perpetual trading exchange. They have an airdrop campaign right now, but they give away literally like 0.01% every month in some
Right.
competition based on volume. So
Yeah, it's like a
it's not an
$5
airdrop. It's not an airdrop. It's a credit card reward scheme. It's
Right.
like when you spend money on a credit card, they're like, oh, here's 2% cash back. Yeah, we really care about you. It's like no one cares. You're not going to make money off that. You spend 10,000 in fees, you probably make $20 back. So you need to be able to conceptualize in your mind, what is the goal of this project? Are they trying to do a credit card buyback bullshit, or do they want to make me rich? Blur wanted to make you rich as fuck, okay? And then you need to find the next Blur that's going to make you rich. And you determine that based on how much do you think they're going to give away. I think Layer Zero will do a decent sized airdrop. That's just my opinion. Could be totally wrong. They could have already done a snapshot. I could be wasting my time, but that's my guess.
I
so
agree.
the two are how much is it worth? How much are they going to give away? And you also, number 3, you want to look out for how difficult is it and how much money does it take? So most of these people doing airdrops, they're just brokies. They're from some third world country. They're trying to make money. They got $50 in their bank account. They're trying to farm as cheap as possible. Okay. So if you want a good airdrop, you want to get rid of those people. You don't want these poor people to be able to qualify. So you need some sort of barrier to entry.
Yep.
So how difficult is it to farm Layer Zero? Well, it's actually like a little bit difficult because there's so many protocols. The websites suck. Most people don't know how to do bridging, so it's a little bit confusing, right? And it's
all
costly.
different blockchains. Yeah.
All different blockchains, all this different stuff. So as well, it's expensive. If you want to bridge off of ETH onto an L2, it's going to cost you $30, $40.
Yep.
And most people are not willing to spend that. So there's a monetary barrier and there's a difficulty barrier. Some airdrops are too easy. And this is why Blur was so lucrative. I told you before, I spent $30,000 farming the Blur airdrop. How many people have $30,000 laying around to spend with zero guarantee of return? Not many people.
Yeah.
So that's why I was able to make over 100K on that. It was, you put $1 in, you pull $4 out. So, not many people don't have that much money. So that's my third and final requirement.
Right. Barrier to entry, super important. And that's mostly a skill thing, because even if you have a little bit of money, you can still manage to do it. So basically, people need to increase their skills with just using the blockchain and being able to do these tedious, repetitive transactions. It's more of a mental kind of mindset thing as well, and most people, we live in 2023, their mindset is just doomed, instant gratification. And they don't have the patience to farm these airdrops properly. So yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into this. So I agree with everything that you just shared. Now, when it comes to making money, of course, we need more than one wallet for the airdrop, right? So in your perspective, how do you get airdrops on more than one wallet, and how do you not get detected for, Cybele farming or whatever they're calling it nowadays?
Yeah, so usually they have for these airdrops something called a maximum cluster that they allow you to have. So a cluster would be like you have multiple wallets, you've sent money between them, they know they can see it on the blockchain, but they let it happen anyway because you're allowed to have multiple wallets. They're not, oh, you have 2 wallets, that's illegal. No,
Right.
they're okay with you having a few wallets. So for each airdrop they had, the cluster is actually decreased. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's decreased. So if you have 5 to 10 wallets connected to each other, I think you would be okay for this airdrop. 5 to 10 that have sent money between them. Because based on prior airdrops, the cluster was like 10 or higher. I think it was 8 for one of them. But if I was wanting to be safer, I would probably not even cluster any wallets, and I would put my money through Bitget. So what you can do is you go to Bitget,
Yeah.
make an account, no KYC, deposit funds, and then you withdraw it to another wallet. Now, if you deposit to the same deposit address, they can see that on the blockchain. Hey, this guy sent money to Bitget and into a wallet and then back to Bitget and into another wallet. So they can see the connection point is the deposit address.
Yeah.
This can cause issues. So what you can do on Bitget is you can make unlimited fresh deposit addresses. I don't know if you can do this on other exchanges, but on Bitget you can. So you send it to Bitget, send it out, refresh deposit address, send it back, send it somewhere else. And that will allow you to be able to circumnavigate any Sybil farming issues unless they somehow figure something else out. But that should cover all bases. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So shameless plug real quick. If you guys want to sign up to Bitget, you can check out my link down in the description below. Anyways, moving on. Thank you for sharing that tip, Dan. Yeah, if you guys aren't using a centralized exchange like Bitget, it's honestly the best in my opinion because of the no KYC, and you can make those fresh addresses. So yeah, you need these tools to basically properly farm the airdrop. All right, cool. So now moving on, next question. How do we stay safe from all of the scams right now going on? Because it's crazy, really. If you're not at this point, I have an internal bullshit detector where if I see something sketchy, I know don't click on it. But so many people are getting destroyed right now because they're clicking on these phishing links, these honeypots, and they're losing their entire balance in their MetaMask wallet. So somebody like yourself, how do you stay safe from all of these attempts to take your crypto?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's tricky. No one's perfect. I've lost money as well. I'm not like,
Yeah,
I'm not
I have gotten scammed before years ago myself. It
I got
happens.
scammed a few months ago on something. But there's always new scams popping up. You're never perfect. You're never going to be able to always avoid stuff. My risk mitigation process is I keep as little as possible in an internet connected wallet, such as MetaMask. I only keep whatever I need. I store my NFTs. I store my long-term investments on a hardware wallet. Originally Ledger, but they've had some, stuff come up. So I'll probably move to a different hardware wallet. But yeah, keep my money offline because you're not going to click a website when your fucking thing isn't on the internet. But if my MetaMask wallet gets hacked, I am okay with whatever is in there getting lost because I've kept the maximum okay amount that I could lose tomorrow and be fine with. And that's just the risk of crypto. There's a bunch. Look, the guy you should be asking this question to is probably more like some professional tech geek who's like, who was obsessed with like security and all that sort of stuff. But there's a few things you can do. For example, keep money in a few different wallets if you can, so that, it's diversified, so that if you accidentally connect to the wrong site on one wallet, it's not going to, affect the other wallets. Only go to the website that is like the website that they specify you to go to. I had a guy get scammed on a website called Startgate yesterday, who was doing the layer zero. It's Startgate, but he clicked on Startgate.
Right. Little stuff, man.
But he clicked. The reason it happened was because he didn't click the link that I told him to click. In my guide, I have a guide for the layer zero airdrop. In it, I put the website link. But he was not smart enough to click it. He would go on Google and type in Startgate, probably speak English as the first language, and click the wrong website. So only click the proper links from proper, destinations. And just never make a decision when you have emotions running through your brain. Every time I had a scam happen, it was always like,
you're like, oh my God, I have to do this right now.
Exactly. Moment. Okay. So if you want to avoid issues, only ever connect wallets and buy and sell when you're calm. Like meditate for 10 minutes and then look at the screen and and then decide. That will pretty much mitigate all problems, that last step alone. So
yeah, I agree. And just to add to that, experience does come a long way. I feel like after you get hacked once, you kind of do build up this internal bullshit detector where you see something and immediately you're just like, delete. Like I get so many messages every day. I get tagged in all this stuff. And I just like when I see something, I just kind of know at this point. So if you're newer, be super careful, verify the links on their Twitter account. Like Dan said, verify the links 3 times, triple check. And really, I mean, I'm very cautious when I go to connect my MetaMask wallet to an application. If I'm actually going to connect it and I've never seen the application before, I'll triple check 3, 4 times. So I know some people in my community, they just got wrecked with the Orbiter Finance Discord hack, right? The Orbiter Finance Discord got hijacked, and the hijackers were posting a fake airdrop claim in the announcements official link section, and people just got their wallets completely drained. So even inside of projects' official discords, you can still get scammed. So you have to be extra careful and build up your own internal bullshit detector through experience. But yeah, we really don't want to see you guys get hacked and lose your crypto. So
Yeah,
apply
the
these
only way
tips.
you can really, the only way you can learn is through firsthand experience. You're not going to avoid the landmines by just watching other people walk over them. You're going to have to
Yeah.
put your foot on one and blow it up. So that's just how it works. Your goal is not to never have a hack, because that won't ever happen. It is to just minimize the size of any hack that could occur, because you will eventually get hacked, because you cannot properly learn this from secondhand experience. So try to keep the risk as low as possible beforehand, so that even if something goes wrong, you're okay.
Well said. All right, cool. On that note, besides airdrops, we talked a lot about airdrops right now. What other ways can we actively make money in the market right now, June 2023?
I mean, there's a lot of ways you can make money. I personally avoid most of them. You could do yield farming, you could do trading, you could do meme coins, you could do flipping NFTs. There's all these different ways to make money. I avoid most of them because my goal is I want to maximize the dollar value of my time. So every hour that I'm investing in something, I need to analyze the potential return from that hour, and it needs to be reaching a certain threshold for it to be worth my time. So if I'm going to be chasing shitcoins, I'm probably only going to allow myself to put, let's say, $2,000 in. If I'm only going to put $2,000 in, I don't think spending hours upon hours, the headache, the stress, all this downside is going to be worth any potential upside. And also, I don't have an edge in meme coins. So just being realistic with my skill in that domain, I don't think it's worth my time. Versus if I'm a long-term investor and I can put 2 hours a week in, buy low, sell high with hundreds of thousands of dollars, and make a 5 to 10x by the end of the next bull run, and make millions of dollars from 2 hours a week, that is a great use of my time, because it has a higher probability of success. It's already been working. I've got an edge there. I enjoy doing it. Doesn't cause me stress, very low on time. And it's just like the perfect thing. So that's how I make money. Long-term investing, that's my main thing. You buy low with a system that you've designed that works. You sell high, 2 hours a week, and you're done. Most people, they stare at charts, they waste their time, they don't value their time. Right. How much is your time worth if you're going to spend 3 hours of your afternoon just sitting in front watching the charts? It's the same thing as when people watch the football. Waste of time. At least when you watch the football, it's actually like enjoyable with your friends. Then you're staring at a chart alone in a cold, dark room. Not worth your time. So yeah, I'd say like focusing on long-term investing and airdrops is the main thing. Look, if you want an active way to make money in crypto, network. I got access to a pre-sale in Scroll last week. 200 million FTV is the value that I got in at. Scroll's worth $1.8, $1.9 billion at the moment. So it's an instant 9x from my entry that I got because of my network, right? So when Scroll goes, TGE generates its token in a year, and I'm in a 9x below its current pre-market valuation, and it's mid-bull run, and all the ETH infrastructure projects are going crazy because Ethereum is leading the bull run. How much money is that going to make me for doing zero work?
Right.
The work was done with the networking. So it's like, yeah, you can spend time actively looking at your screen, or go out into the real world, meet people, and then they're going to get you access to things because you've got value that you can provide potentially, or you've got capital that you can provide. You get opportunities. So yeah, that's something that I'm doing. Pre-sales. I've got a really good syndicate that I got access to. Private syndicate, not one of those public shit ones where they get you into scams and stuff. But yeah.
Very nice. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. So yeah, I mean, for the majority of people, investing is going to be much more lucrative and less stressful than actively trading. But that's not to be said that you can't make money actively trading, but it's a very specialized skill. And for most people, they just don't have what it takes, and that's okay.
There's a story that I got told by a mentor once, and it was I don't want to go into the full story, but it was basically of a ballerina who got told she'll never be a ballerina. And so she gave up, and she went back to the ballerina coach years and years later and thanked her for telling her not to be a ballerina. And the coach said, oh, I tell that to all the ballerinas. The good ones just don't listen. So when I come on here and I tell you, don't do this, don't do that, you're an idiot, don't do this. This is more just the filter to determine if you are someone destined to be a good trader. If you listen to me and you stop trading, you are never going to make it anyway. If you listen to me and I'm right because 99% of people don't make money in trading, and you still, even though it's the hardest way to make money, give it a go, you have a chance of making money from trading or meme coins or whatever it is. So yeah, take my advice with the nuance that I'm telling you it, because if you are destined to make money, you won't listen to me.
That's it. Inshallah. All right. So how do you determine what projects are worth holding for extended periods of time? You just touched on, you have a system that you have for investing. How do you determine what's actually worth holding?
Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest things is the two things is narrative. Okay, maybe three. Narrative, team, tokenomics. That's the main three that I look out for. So I try to stay away from any coin older than a year. Okay. The reason that is because what I've realized being in the VC pre-sale game is none of these guys give a single fuck about what they invest in.
Yes.
All they want to do is sell you their bags. Okay. They're just like, yeah, I got this scroll pre-sale. I can't wait to sell it at 100x when it unlocks. I don't know what it does. It sounded cool when I invested in it 2 years ago. I haven't looked into it. They don't care. They're just trying to take your money. Yep. So when a coin is older than a year, that means that the VCs are getting close to getting unlocked. And it's just this wall of sell pressure that's going to unlock. And it's just going to just fuck the project. Okay. It's like, imagine you're in, in Lord of the Rings when there's that castle and fucking Mordor's like their army in the mountains.
The big eye and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, the big eye. They're building their army. You're in your castle chilling, okay? That's fine. That's when you want to be in the castle. But when the army's at your front gate and they're barging in, when the VCs are getting unlocked a year after token launch, you do not want to be in that fucking castle. And that's why all these people watching this video, they own coins like XRP, Tron, Stellar, all this shit, and they wonder why they don't make money. Well, the orcs are in your castle and everyone's dead. So I wonder why. And this is why you need to focus on new coins. A good example, to give you an example, is Arbitrum. Has no VC token unlocks until March 2024. We've got a 9-month runway of no VC bullshit, okay? And what we also have is a narrative. So that's the second point. EIP 4884 is coming out, or 4844, whatever it is coming out in the second half of 2023. This is going to make layer 2s cheaper and faster, and it's going to be one of the biggest narratives over the next 6 months, okay? And the leader of this narrative is going to be Arbitrum. So you've got narrative. Team. The team of Arbitrum is world-class, okay? They're the number one adopted in terms of volume, transactions, blah, 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 layer 2, okay? So you combine those three, and Arbitrum is a great investment, in my opinion, for the next 3 to 9 months using those three main criteria. Another one would be layer 0. When the token launches, no VCs are getting unlocked for a bit. Okay, I know this because of the token unlock situation, and obviously VCs aren't getting immediately unlocked. And also something else you need to consider: the reason why I expect Arbitrum to pump into its VC unlock is VCs want a good exit. They need exit liquidity. Okay, they need you watching this video to make them money. Okay, so how do they do that? Well, they pump the token into the unlock. That's their goal. That's the mission. It doesn't always happen, but that's what they want. So they're going to hopefully pump it into the VC unlock, get their exit liquidity, dump their bags on you, and then go buy a yacht in Saint-Tropez, put a bunch of models on it, and have fun. Okay, so that's what they're aiming to do, and that's my valuation process.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get a ton of value and learn a lot from just that alone. So when it comes to the investing game, do you find it's better to lump sum invest and inject a ton of capital at once into the market, or kind of spread your shots out around and DCA over longer periods of time?
Yeah, so people are really impatient. And I realize this because I have an investment system which takes 2 hours a week to implement, because it gives you one signal every 2 weeks averaged. But in reality, it gives you 5 signals during a week, and then it won't have anything for 3 months. And then it will signal again, and it will give you 4 signals at the bottom. And so many people who follow this, they're impatient. Hey, Daniel, hasn't been a signal in a month. Why is the group so quiet? And I'm like, are you an idiot? Like, where's your patience? You have no clue about how crypto works. So the answer is you should ideally have a system which buys bottoms and understands that bottoms take time to form. There's not just, you don't just, so many people, they come into crypto and they're like, okay, what am I buying? What are we buying, guys? I just buying crypto.
Like, here we go.
You don't just, it's the same as stock market. It's the stock at S&P, and it just, you buy it and it just goes up in a straight line during a bull run. This is crypto. You have every 1 to 2 times a year, you have a deep capitulatory crash because it's such a volatile, Wild West place. And you wait for those opportunities to occur. You use derivatives data to be able to determine where is everyone just absolutely fucking bearish out of their brains.
Right.
And you just buy and you turn off the computer and you don't look at it, because if you look at it, you're going to shake yourself out and get scared. So what you can do is you can DCA. I do recommend to people, look, with 20% of your money you want to put in, just DCA every Monday, because Monday is the most profitable day to DCA. And that's just like a good way to make sure you have some exposure for the bull run. Because sometimes people join late, right? Sometimes they join just before the bull run. You need to get them some exposure. But yeah, I recommend that people have a system that will buy the bottom every, 2 to 4 times a year, whenever it happens, and stop being impatient and understand this is how crypto works.
Yeah, for sure. And that March 10th, 2023 of this year, when the Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, that's an example of kind of one of those black swan events where you want to kind of go heavy in one of those instances. And I'm sure your algorithm fired during that time, right?
Bro, it caught the exact bottom. We got like 4 signals, literal bottom. And then it just went ballistic, 40% in a week. So yeah.
Exactly. So you got to be patient. You can't be one of these people that come on up here all excited. What are we doing now? This big group think mentality that we're all in this together. This is a PvP market, and you need to take self-responsibility and have patience. So I couldn't agree more. Now, moving on, you already mentioned Arbitrum, Layer 0, 2 really, bullish coins for this next 3 to 9 months or so. For the next bull run, after the Bitcoin halving, 2024 is going to be the next Bitcoin halving. What 1 or 2 coins that you're kind of really bullish on? I'm sure one is probably going to be Ethereum. That's the safest bet that you can have in this market, but I'll let you kind of elaborate and go into it.
Yeah, well, look, the thing is the best coins aren't out yet.
Right.
The best coins haven't been made yet. So many people are like, today I need a coin right now. I'm going to find a coin right now. Your best coin doesn't exist, okay? It hasn't even got a fucking name yet. The team haven't met each other. The kid isn't even born, potentially. Okay? It's not made yet. So, like, I have Arbitrum, I've got Layer 0, I've got Ethereum, I've got Solana. Solana's the one old coin that I like, okay? It's like that girl that you met in high school and you can never get over her, okay? I'm sorry, I have Solana, I believe in its future. She's a bit old and wrinkly now, but I think she'll make a comeback, okay? She'll go to the gym and she'll look nice again. So I think Ethereum is a really good bet for the next bull run. You could talk for hours about why Ethereum is bullish. I could, just pray to Vitalik on this video, but I think Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin, which means that denominating in Bitcoin is the underperforming strategy, meaning that I want to denominate my gains and what I expect to occur based off Ethereum. So if I'm going to buy something that's not Ethereum, it better outperform ETH. So if I buy, let's say, what's an old coin? Matic.
Yeah, Matic's a good one.
It's an old coin. All the VCs are, exiting because they're getting unlocked. Even the late unlocks are getting unlocked. The ones who super don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like if Matic with all this sell pressure would have to do something crazy to outperform ETH, a coin that is deflationary and is going to lead the narrative of the next bull run. So I have to ask myself, any coin, anything that I buy other than ETH, the question is, will it outperform ETH? And for 99% of coins, I look at them and I think probably not. Or the answer is yes, but they're going to have to go down another 50%, and then it'll have an alt season 10x spike, but it will ultimately underperform the ETH pair. So yeah, it might have a big alt season pump, but it's never going to new ETH all-time highs.
Right.
So yeah, you can do like a short-term alt season, sort of trading thing, capture the beta, capture the returns of that, quick pump.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think most of these alts against ETH, they're going to have shit charts.
Right.
And it's going to be a temporary period where they might perform well. Like, how many coins right now are outperforming ETH? How many
Not
charts
many.
out? Only meme coins.
Select
only
few.
FA.
Yeah, memes.
Yeah, maybe GMX briefly, maybe some NFTs like Milady, stuff like that. But bro, it's so hard, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a professional expert who can pick every altcoin that's going to outperform. I got one or two that I'm happy with, and I'm going to ride these ones to outperform ETH. So that's what I got.
Yeah, and then also with those quick spikes in the altcoin season, there's a lot of margin for error. A lot of people botch their gains because they get greedy, they get emotional, they don't sell. Then it goes down 50%, they lose half their money, and they still end up not outperforming Ethereum. So you have to be a highly competent person, and there's skill involved, and you need discipline to handle your emotions, because there's a lot of money on the table here, and it's very easy to fumble the bag. And so yeah,
It
just outperform.
It just comes down to not having a system. No one has a system. I'm one of the only people in crypto that have a system that they follow religiously. No one else has a system. They're all like, yeah, I think Bitcoin's gonna crash, so I'm gonna wait for it to crash. I was at a dinner last week in Dubai with a guy who's got millions of dollars. He has done well. But even guys like that, I asked them, like, so like you don't really have any crypto at the moment, you're waiting for a crash. Like, what's your system? What's your strategy? Like, what are you basing this on? He's just like, oh, I just think that like the market's gonna go down and then it will go up. Sort of thing. I'm like, somehow he made millions of dollars. He made his millions of dollars from pre-sales and shit. Again, it's just
right. Like, knowing the right people and stuff like that.
Yeah. And he actually got a good exit at the end of the bull run. But like, it's just no one, even guys who are really good, they don't really have like a system that they follow. It's a lot of guesswork. And I find that unless you're a person who's been in crypto for 5 years, like this guy was, and you've seen everything, and you've done a full market cycle, unless you've got that, you have to follow a system. Like, there's only a very small percent of people who can just do a guess strategy where it's just like, I don't have a system, but I'll know when it comes, sort of thing. Or their system is just like, I'll know when it comes, right? Unless you got that, that full market cycle, 4 or 5 years of crypto, you need a system. You need something that's going to control you. Because right now, if you haven't experienced the full market cycle, you as a person are not a good crypto person. You would just objectively suck at crypto, because there's stuff that you haven't seen that's going to happen. Okay. Like, until you've seen the full market cycle, you haven't seen the full cycle of emotions that you're going to feel. You don't know how you're going to react when you feel something that you've never felt before. If you've felt that fear before, you're going to go, oh, I remember last time this happened.
Yep.
Last time I sold. Now I know not to sell this time. That's why the first market cycle is when you lose it all. And the second market cycle is when you make a good amount. Third market cycle is when you retire. So yeah, that's my answer there.
Cool. And so this is your retirement cycle here. I know you plan on making 5 to 10 million, right?
Yep. Yeah. So my goal, I've got 7 figures. My goal, nothing crazy, just a 5 to 10x in the bull run. Just 4 main strategies: airdrops, pre-sales, long-term investing, and free money opportunities. So that's just shit that pops up in the bull run, like when Mechaverse had a whitelist, when Mechaverse had its NFT raffle, and you had a 1% chance of getting a whitelist allocation. It made you 30 grand instantly. Right. Or FTX has an IEO, and you own FTT tokens, and you have a 1% chance of getting it. Like, free money opportunities. Airdrops, pre-sales, and long-term investing. And my goal is 5 to 10 mil by the end of the bull run. And I think it won't be too hard, to be honest. Like, it's not too aggressive. The strategy's not too gambly. It's quite sound, and
Awesome. I like it. So I don't want to keep you too long. Got one last question for you, and that's how to maximize your profit after the airdrop. So, and you kind of touched on it with pre-sales, but I'm sure there's more to it. So, let's say for Blur, you just make 60 grand from the airdrop. Been grinding it for a few weeks, a few months, bam, you get paid 60K. What do you do now?
Well, I run many online businesses and I've worked jobs that paid me a lot of money. I consistently make, good money. So I've got a really good network. I've got skills. I'm a person where if my money went to zero, I'd still be able to make 50K a month from something. I'd find a way to do it. So if you got, if you just printed 60K on an airdrop, I would say invest in ways that you could get to a similar situation. Like, do you know how many millionaires do you speak to on a weekly basis? Zero? Oh, well, now you got 60 grand. So start going to the nice gym. Start talking to, wealthy individuals. So that's first thing. Like, increase your network. Start talking to some cool people. You're not a peasant anymore. You've got a bit of money. You can start talking to some better people. Education. Invest in your skills. Like, I know a lot of people don't want to make online businesses, but if that's something that interests you and you got 60K now, I would look to invest in some sort of online business education program. Try to make an online business. Try to make your dreams come true. Like, if you're just going to continually flip your way to millions of dollars, that does work. But I do believe that outside of just purely like $0 to $1 million from crypto, you should be trying to build yourself up as well.
Yep.
If you're here, this is your growth and this is your wealth, your money growth. If this goes up and you're still here, you got to pick yourself up.
Yeah, it's not going to end well if that's the case.
If you've now got if you've got middle class money now, but you're still a peasant, you got to pick yourself up to middle class. You got to start leveling yourself up. You can't just be like these crypto geeks who make $3 million on shitcoins and they still live in their mom's basement. You got to pick yourself up. You got to live your life. So that's what I would say. Like, try to find ways to level yourself up, because as well, you will only keep as much money as you deserve. If you make $1 million this bull run and you're still a 9-to-5 normie and you don't have the mindset, the mental capacity to handle that money, you're going to lose it all. And that's what most people do. That's why most people lose all their money in the market. They're not actually someone worth being a millionaire. Yep. God will look down on you with your $1 million and he will say, you don't deserve that. He'll take it away from you. That's how it works. And this is why if you look at most lottery winners, I think 70%, 80% of lottery winners lose it all. Yep. You could give the lottery winner $1 billion. He'd find a way to lose it all because God is looking down on him and he's like, you are not worth having this money. I'm going to take it all from you somehow. And it goes away. So if you're going to make all this money, make sure you're even a person worth having the money, because most people aren't. Most people are worth having 10K in the bank and no more.
Right. And then just to expand on that, you determine if you're worthy or not as the individual. So, like Dan said, increase your skill set, increase your knowledge, hit the gym, take up some kind of martial art, I would say, and work on yourself. And the rest kind of falls into place. God isn't standing there looking to condemn you and say you're not worthy. But if you live the life of somebody who is not worthy, then he will make you pay for it. It's, I think, a good way to kind of elaborate on that. Right.
Yeah. My way of saying it was quite harsh and blunt, but there's obviously nuance there. And don't take it what I said at face value, more like look beyond just purely what I said at the face value. And yeah, there's obviously more context here. It's not like God's going to punish you. You made $1 million. It's more like you will only ever make and be able to keep what you're worth internally. And you can build that worth through being a good person, giving value to others, learning, contributing to the world. The more value you give to others, the more you'll receive in return. So
So you determine if you're worthy at the end of the day. It all comes down to yourself. What's the quote by Henry Ford? Whether you think you can or think you can, you're right. And it's the same exact thing with your internal wealth thermometer. Cool. All right. So, this was awesome, man. We've been talking, for around an hour or so, and it feels like 5 minutes. Time flew by. Now, where can people find you, right? If they want to learn more about you and what you do, what you offer, where can people learn more about that?
Yeah. So I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Telegram. I got some Telegram communities and stuff. But look, the main thing is I'd say YouTube. I think if you look in the description below, there might be a YouTube link or something, hopefully. But yeah, I've got a YouTube channel. I post all about this sort of stuff. Everything that we talked about today, I talk about in more depth in just various videos. So Twitter is more shit posting, but yeah, majority of the value is on YouTube. And I'd say check out the YouTube. And I've got some guides and stuff on different topics like layer zero airdrop and some other things. I don't sell information. All my guides are free. If you want to download any of them, they're just free. I don't believe in selling information. So yeah, it's all out there.
All right, guys. So subscribe to Dan's YouTube channel, follow him on Twitter, and join his Telegram group. Stay in touch with him. And is there anything else that you'd like to add to wrap this up, Dan?
Um, yeah, I just say like if you're gonna do airdrops, it's gonna be hard at the start, but it's just a mental thing. You touched on it briefly. It's really just a mental barrier more than a skill barrier. Like
Mm-hmm.
anyone who puts their mind to it can figure it out. It's not that hard. You like this laser airdrop, if it airdrops, it's gonna make people a lot of money. Highly recommend anyone watching this who has the time to give it a try and just push through that initial, period of resistance and inertia
Mm-hmm.
and figure it out. So yeah.
Sweet. All right, Dan. It was an absolute pleasure to have you here on the channel. Great to speak with you. Great to meet you. And yeah, we'll have to reconvene maybe after Layer Zero does an airdrop. We can have you back on the channel, or something else in the future. Maybe I'll fly out over to Lisbon and we can do something in real life one day as well. We'll see.
Yeah, bro. When you come to Lisbon and we print it on Layer Zero, we'll get a boat. We'll go on the water. We'll film. I'll have the yacht instead of a little apartment, so that'll be a bit better.
Sounds like a plan, brother man. All right, we're going to end it on that note. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe to Dan's channel, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Awesome. See you guys.